There we go. There's the start of it. Well, now I'm going to do some sanding. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now it's time to use the table router. And this used to be one of my scariest tools to use, but ever since I found out how to do this without getting any tear out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. As this blade is spinning this way, I'm going to bring it around like this, come around, and then we don't get any tear out that way. So here we go. Okay, and there we go. Perfectly routed body. Center's already marked with a little ridge. All right, so now I'm going to do some drilling here. I'm going to drill out our center hole, and then each hole here that we're going to use to help line the drill up as we're drilling our through wire. So let's get started. I'm only going to go roughly about maybe this deep, considering this is going to go right here. So I'm going to draw my road map as well after we're done here. Okay, so now, all right. So now these are not lead holes that I'm drilling. These are guide holes that I'm going to use when I'm drilling my through wire hole. And after that's done, these will get plugged up after the epoxy's in. So let's start drilling.
Okay, let's do the next one.
We don't have to go very deep. Right there. A little bit more. Okay. And there we go. Our lead hole, as well as our hook hanger, and then our guide holes. So when we start drilling, drill bit's going to go through here and through each one, and we can guide it right or left as we're inside this hole. Same thing going this way. Okay? All right. Excellent. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this, but I'm going to start drilling the through wire hole. I'm going to use a smaller drill bit first to drill a pilot hole. I drew a road map out, which is where this line is right here. And then we're going to line that up with the center line. And we should drill through each one. Okay, so here we go. So nice and slow, nice and easy. Precision is the key here. Let's see if we go a little further. We need a bigger drill bit. Okay. Let me grab a bigger drill bit. I guess we can just use this long one. Let's just use this long one for now. All right, so here we go. We're going to try this again. There we go. Remember I said, take your time. Precision is the key, is the name of the game on this one. You want to stay right on that line. There we go. The front right here. I like to come straight down first to get it started. and then go back out of it. And then since I have the hole already drilled, remember our landmarks here and here. And we're going to take this and try to drill it right down the middle. And you can see this will go all the way through the middle. And right out the center. There we go. Okay. And that's done. Okay, so what I'm going to start doing now is, now that I've got all of these holes drilled out, the next step is to cut all these chamfer lines. And after those are done, we'll go and sand it all nice and smooth, and then we'll get our wires ready. So let's start carving.
Okay, there's part, there's one. Turn out.
All right, so I think next we will start sanding this. So let's do that now. Okay, so this is another very crucial step in this, and it takes a lot of precision and taking your time and just basically staying inside these lines here. I want to stay right along the center to this line. So what this is going to do is just going to round out this top. Stay right along that line right there. Okay, and we're going to check for symmetry. Looks pretty symmetrical to me. I like it. Okay, so now we're going to start on the underneath. Okay, and now it's just going to be going across the top, like so. There we go. Looks nice and symmetrical to me. Now we'll do this part. Let's get the front done. There, same thing on this side. There. And then we'll just come across here like so, down the middle. All basically just kind of sanding it and refining it, making it all nice and smooth. So here we are. Oh, see what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of refining. Getting that area nice and smoothed out there. Okay, there. And then we're just going to sand out all these marks here. So it's just going to be a lot of finish sanding. So we'll see you guys when I get to the point where I can do the diving lip and then start the through wire. Okay, so next up is the diving lip. I've already got it drawn out, and I'm going to make enough room so we can do some sanding on it as well. And make Okay, so there's the rough cut of the diving lip, and now we're going to start sanding it. Okay, now that I've got it cut out, I'm going to rough sand it to shape. And you can see these lines that are really, really faint. We're going to sand right up close to them, and then we'll take it over to the belt sander and finish off the sanding. Let's get started. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to go on to the belt sander, and we're just going to sand this off, make it a little bit smoother, and just refine it a little bit more, because we got a little bit here we need to take off. So let's do that. Okay, we've got that done. Next step is to take these and get these holes drilled out here. So we're going to put that on the drill press so we can do more precision work. And then we'll take this over to some sandpaper and we'll sand this down even smoother. So hopefully that way this looks like it's polished almost. Okay? So I've got everything all set up here. And if you saw those dots, they're right, one's here and one's there. We're going to drill those out with one of the smallest drill bits I have that wire will fit through. And I want to try to keep this right, I want to keep that line right in the middle of the drill, so we're going to keep that nice and straight. We're going to turn this on and very slowly. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing with the one at the bottom. Okay, and as you can see, it almost looks like those holes are right down the middle. So this slur should work really good. Okay. Okay, so the diving lip is done. It's all polished. And I got a length of wire. And I've got my my pliers here. So we're just gonna make a nice bend here, like this. Just like that. And then we're going to take the long end, put it through the front. You honestly don't need this much wire. I don't know why I used this much, but you don't need it. There we go. Okay. And we can see that's pretty much right in line with the center. So now this lure is going to be at an angle, but I want this to come in straight. So I want to bend this down just a little bit more, and I want to put a nice little bend there and a nice little bend there, just like that. So that's what it's going to look like. Then we can work on getting this nice and straight. That way it's easier to tune. And the lure runs straight, tracks true. Okay. So that's that. Kind of mocked it up right here so you guys can see what it looks like. So the next step is to put our hook hanger. And our hook hanger is going to go right here. And then what's going to happen is the hook hanger is going to be encased in lead. We'll get all this epoxied in here. And once that epoxy's all dry, then we'll put the lead in. But let's get this wrapped, let's get this hook hanger made, and I'll show you how I do that. I would go a little bit more than what you need. Excuse me. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bend this in a U at the widest part, like so. And what I want to do is I want to kind of make a circle. Okay. Just like that. There we go. So now the idea is we need to find out how deep we need to make this. So what I do is it's going to go like that. It's like that right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then I'm going to take the hemostats and Go right to the end. It should touch the belly. There, just like that. Okay, that will touch the belly. Okay, we're going to bend one end out this way. And we're going to bend one end out the opposite way. Okay, there. I'm going to take my pliers, because we're done with this now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few wraps. I want to make some fairly large circles so it's a lot easier to thread this wire through, because it can be pretty tough. Right there. We'll get the tag end snipped off. And then we're going to do the other side. So now, if you notice, we have this, and it is parallel, and if you notice, we have a really nice hole that the wire is going to go through. So I insert that in here, like so. Okay, and the way this thing will kind of spring out, it almost makes this perfectly centered. There. Then I want to take my through wire. We're going to thread the through wire through. Okay, remember we made that nice and wide? Okay. There we go. And there's our, and there we are right there. And then we have this here. So there's our through wire, and then our hook hanger connected to that through wire. Now, when this is all done, we're gonna epoxy everything in, let the epoxy dry, then we'll come back through and we'll fill this up with lead all the way up to the top. Get that sanded down so it's nice and smooth. And then we'll we'll get started on painting. Wicked opaque white.
Let's try this again. Yeah?
Okay, next color is going to be pearl white, and we're going to obviously go over the entire body. And then I'm going to thin this out a little bit. So I'm going to use some of my reducer here. A couple drops. And here we go. Okay, let's get started. Again, we're going to do the entire body. So there's our coat of pearl white. We're going to let this heat set, and we'll get on to our next color. All right, so our next color is going to be a fluorescent yellow. And that is going to go right along here. And then we're going to go here with it, there, and then right there. Okay, so let's get started on that. Yeah, let's get started on this one. So again, right here, we're going to use the eye as a landmark. Go all the way across. And then that chartreuse goes right along here at the bottom. So we're going to link it all together. I want to come this way with it. There. And then we want to take the chartreuse and go right along the front, right here. We'll let that dry, and then we'll go across the back. But I think we're going to go this way. Let's let that dry for a minute, and we'll come back and put a second coat on the front and the underneath. The lure done. We're going to move on to the next color. And I think the next color that we're going to do is going to be fluorescent orange. It's going to be right around the cheeks underneath the eye. All right, moving on. Next is fluorescent orange. And like I said, we're just going to do the cheeks. The cheeks in fluorescent orange. All right, here we go. Like I said, we're just going right along here. So basically, we start at the bottom here and work our way up. Very light coats. Okay, now do the other side. There we go. Pretty cool, eh? That's pretty cool. Okay, so next is fluorescent hot pink, which is going to go on the belly. And here we go. Let's get started. Let's do this one. We're just going right in the middle here. That's it. Not a lot. There we go. That's it. And we'll get that dried off. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? All right, well, I've got the scales put on, the cloth, and it's time to paint the scales. And I'm going to do a thinned out, transparent medium gray. That's going to go across the back and just down these sides over here, like that. And then I'll probably go over that with some transparent black over the top. Nice little stripe. And then we'll put our little shad dot, do our eye accent, and we'll call this done after we do the eyes. So just got a few drops of gray, thinned it out, and here we go. And I don't want it very, here it can be pretty heavy. Yep, just like that. Then we're going to come down here. Like that, there. And down here like this. You can kind of see the gray. You can definitely see it on top. This is where I want it, a lot of it. Okay. Let's allow that to dry, and then we'll go over that in black. Just across the top and just barely down the sides. Okay, so now it's transparent black, which is just going to go across the top and down the sides, but I want to be very light about it. So this is going to be a tough one. So I just want to do this. I just want to add a little bit of black to it, just like that. Then I want to come down the sides just a little bit, not so much. There, just like that, and then the same thing over here. There, just like that. I think that's good enough. Because you can still see the black. just like that, there, and then here, there. And then I'm going to come across here just like this, there. Okay, that's done. Stick around for that. So here's our scale unveiling. Let's see what this looks like. I'm pretty excited to see it. Oh, wow, look at that. That looks really cool. Awesome. All right, so let's do our top here with this transparent black. Okay, so the idea is just to go just down the center. That's all we're doing. One other technique I like to do is to take a paper towel or just a regular towel. We can take this off. We don't need that anymore. There. And I like to just kind of erase the sides off a little bit. That kind of fades it. There, see how it kind of fades the scales? Just like that. It kind of fades them, which is what I like. It makes it nice and subtle. And I do this usually when the paint's still kind of wet, still drying partially. Go in one direction. There. And if you notice, kind of disappears. Just like that. There's our lure so far. Very light. I'm going to go straight down the middle. There we go. And then we're just going to go over this part. There. There we go. A little bit of eye accent. No, we didn't. Okay, good. There we go. There's our accents. Now we're going to get the middle of the eye. There. Then we're going to get this one. Okay. We'll go right in between. So 1, 2, 3 over, and then right in that middle right there. 1, 2, 3 right there. And we're just going to draw a dot. There. And do the same thing on the other side. Let's try to go over 1, 2, 3, right about there. And we'll fill it up. There. Okay. So there's our shad dot, kind of in the same place. There's what it looks like so far. How fast are we going?
We're at
4.5. And there's a lure going 4.5 miles an hour. What do you say we bump it up to 5? Maybe 6.
5.
There's 5.
That's 6.
Oh, it's 6?
Yeah, that's 6.
6. What if we go to say 7? There's 7. Okay, 7 miles an hour. I recorded all that. Wow. So yes, are these lures available to purchase? They are. Believe it or not.
Where at?
That's the problem.